Jen Burson, founder and president of Generation PR and creator of Generation Academy, talks to host Doug Simon on PR's Top Pros Talk.
Jen, let's start off by having you talk about what you see as the biggest change to getting product publicity in online venues and obviously the magazines that are seen online.
Yeah, the number one factor these days is the opportunity for the publication to earn affiliate revenue by writing about these products and linking to platforms where they can earn income for the publication by talking about products.
So, as a PR person, how does that affect your approach in working with clients?
At this point, our firm will not work with a brand that doesn't have some kind of a platform set up, whether that's selling on Amazon or Target, Walmart. Those websites have their own affiliate programs built in. And if a brand is sold on those platforms, what then we're looking for is the number of reviews. We want at least 500 reviews, 4 and 5 star reviews. The point is to make the decision to buy kind of a no-brainer so that the consumer reads the article and then clicks through to look at the product and then puts it in their cart. Particularly with Amazon, there's that opportunity for the full cart transaction. So the chance of generating income for these publications based on featuring a certain product that meets all that criteria. The price point is $20-ish. The product performs as expected because the reviews, 4 and 5 star reviews, the customers obviously like it. So they put it in the cart. The publication that originates that transaction, I think the consumers cookied for about 30 days. So if they go back to it, the publisher's still getting credit for that transaction. But also there are other platforms like e-commerce websites for brands. They have their own opportunity for an affiliate program like Share a Sale, Commission Junction, Rakuten. So they can set it up on their own site and choose the commissions that they're paying these publishers so they can bump it up a lot higher than Amazon. But the challenge there is whether the item is a high price point to begin with. Because if it's a lower price point, the commission's not that high, whereas Amazon, you can put that product in your cart and then go buy an iPhone or something with a high dollar value, and now the publisher's getting commissions on that full cart transaction. And also the brands really like the Amazon affiliate piece because they don't have to deal with the commissions or anything. It all happens directly through Amazon, whereas they are taking the commissions from their own .com out of profits, essentially.
Fascinating and information I wasn't aware of. So like if I get a refill of my facial cleanser on Amazon, but decide to buy an 80-inch television at the same time, the publication that provided the link is going to get all of the commission from my entire sale. That's really changing, it sounds, how media wants to cover stories online.
Yeah, the commission rates are not the same. So different product categories have different commission rates, and Amazon will also adjust them based on promotions they're running time of year to try to promote different categories. Like for Prime Day, for example, and I'm in the beauty space, they will bump up the commission on prestige beauty from around 3 to 5% to 10%. So all of a sudden, you'll see all of these influencers and publishers talking about products in the premium beauty category. And so you would, instead of refilling what you already have on Amazon, you would have to start from reading an article and clicking their link to then put that product in your cart. But then essentially anything else you buy is going to get given a commission at that rate. That's the going rate on Amazon, and the publisher gets the entire transaction.
And obviously brand integration is becoming a more important part of how media entities survive. So knowing that that's the background and that's across multiple platforms, how can you as a communicator build stronger media connections when so much is based on the transactionality of it, if you will?
Yeah, I think that we used to essentially hide that goal. It was like we all kind of understood that this was important. Now we come straight out and say we're available on these platforms, or you can find us on Share a Sale, and we are willing to offer 10, 15, 25%. So it's very clear that we understand their goal, and their directive is to earn revenue based on the stories that they're writing. And we go a bit deeper even, because we're looking for those opportunities that give them a chance to rank higher on SEO for searches that have a high search volume but a low yield of results that are returning. So they can write a story based on a problem people have that they're searching in Google to try to solve, but not a lot of content gets returned. So they can rank high in SEO and therefore be the top, 1, 2, 3 searches for a certain issue. And then people will read it, click through, and purchase. So we're almost partnering with media to try to find these opportunities and present them, still all of the fundamentals of storytelling and timing and aligning the topic and the idea with the publication and their readership and that writer's beat, and all of that still remains. But now there's this piece that shows them that there is a story idea or opportunity that still serves all of that and has the chance to earn them revenue by ranking high in SEO for that search query where not a lot of people are competing. And so that strategy works really well, but it's not something you can offer to 10, 15, 20 of your media contacts. You have
Right.
to, because then it defeats the purpose. Everybody's now ranking high for the same content. So you want to present these opportunities to your top media contacts where it's a fit. And now you're serving them in a way where you're showing them there's a great opportunity and they have this chance to earn revenue very quickly, directly from one of these platforms based on what people are looking for online.
I can see how you're so intentional and focused, and PR people have to be that way. We'll get into the fact that you're also a professional mentor as another business. One company, a successful PR agency, I guess, wasn't enough. What's your mentoring advice for other PR people to be that intentional and that focused? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, we know that spray and pray does not work. It is not ever going to be effective, and it's seen as lazy, and it is not going to help you build relationships. And we see a lot of people come into, especially running their own businesses or freelancing, and they want quick wins, quick results. They think of it as a volume game, and that just doesn't work. It's still about aligning topics with the publication, aligning ideas with what the reader would ultimately want to know about. It's about adding value, and that takes more time to cultivate, cultivate real relationships, offer resources to our media contacts, even if it's not our own clients. Just be seen as somebody who is there to support and serve our media friends, because they're tasked with writing so much more content. Often the freelancers are now writing for multiple outlets.
Right.
The pay isn't as high. It's all about just creating content. So if we can help make their jobs easier, better, by offering any resources we have, whether it's a client or not, or just to make their lives better, what are you working on? How can I support you? Then when it comes time to offer something that will benefit you and your clients, now they're more receptive to that.
That makes a lot of sense. One of the trends we're actually seeing on the broadcast side when content's placed online is clients putting in an effort to amplify the content that's been placed. I would think if you're doing that for media that's earning revenue from the stories they write, that would be really appreciated. Is that something you're engaged in doing?
Absolutely, we are. And our media contacts really love when we do it and our clients do it by sharing on social, providing links so people can click through. It really benefits them as the writers, as the commerce editors or the freelancers that are writing these pieces, to have something that has a lot of traffic driven to it pretty quickly and also pretty consistently. So we'll see articles that are published, they have a lot of traffic driven, and let's say they're mentioning 5 or 7 different products. The story has really good amplification, traction, SEO. Let's say 3 of those 5 or so products are converting really well, and the other 2 aren't really selling through as much as the others. We will see these articles being rerun with those slow movers swapped out for things that might perform a little better. So leveraging that SEO benefit, but also amplifying something early on as a brand, and hopefully getting your products to sell through a bit more by calling it out to your audience. Look at this publication we all know, like, and trust. They're talking about us. Go ahead and click through. And then if they decide to buy from that link, now your client's product is one of those quick converting products. And we've seen articles run 2, 3, 4 times with more increasingly intense headlines like, this will transform your routine, this will change your life forever, but it's the same content, only swapping out the slow movers. So it benefits to give them a lot of, kind of a traffic pop early on and then consistently. And they love it. The media contacts that we work with love it, because now they're getting eyeballs on their story, and it's like job security.
You mentioned spray and pray. Is that one of the business productivity traps that agencies can fall into? And if it is or isn't, what are some others?
I think that if agencies aren't investing in the proper training and education of their teams that are kind of coming up through the ranks, because I've heard from mentoring, literally tens of thousands of women all over the world. We're supporting women in over 40 countries now, which to me is the coolest thing ever. I love connecting with people globally, but they're all telling me they're not learning this in school. They're learning how to write a press release. They're learning just basics of what would go into a strategy, but the actual execution of pitching the media in a compelling way and following up and aligning a story idea with the publication and that writer, all of that is supposed to be taught on the job, but if the company is not investing in their team, and really, if it's like a numbers game and they're just like getting clients and then farming the work out to these junior people. I mean, I've seen, 21-year-old women that are not moms writing pitches for baby and kids products, and they don't sound really informed. And so it's really about these companies getting a lot of business and being profitable. So they're not spending the time to really invest in how the teams can be more effective. It's really for them, I think, a numbers game. At least that's what we're hearing from members of our community who are really looking for that training that will move the needle, that will convert. And we tell them it is not about sending out hundreds of pitches. It's cultivating relationships, niching down so the key players in your space, and getting those connections so that what they want and you can present it to them when it's timely and relevant. And it takes time. So spray and pray might seem like a fast way to work, but overall, if you want your client to stay longer than their first 6-month retainer, you've got to work a little bit more strategically and make that extra effort.
One of the things that might be encouraging for you based on your last example, we did a pro bono project, and it was with American University students, where the class was assigned to help promote a book being written by Diane Foley, who's the mother of a journalist who had been killed by terrorists after being kidnapped. And those students really had to put a plan together, pitch the story, understand how to produce it. They're definitely going to be coming out well prepared. Unfortunately, they're still juniors, so I couldn't scoop them up right away. But you're so invested in mentorship. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the work you do, and I know it's focused on women, can men also benefit from some of the ideas that you're sharing and maybe share some of the ideas on what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. We have men that are part of our community. Sometimes they're lurkers, but they're there. And, our community starts out with all kinds of free content from a, weekly YouTube show that I put out. Our overall community is called Powerhouse Pros, and our goal is to turn everyone into a pitching powerhouse. And that means understanding how the media works, feeling like a media insider, learning how to cultivate relationships, but also having that confidence that comes from really knowing what it takes to move the needle and secure press in a really increasingly challenging media landscape. So people find us with our free content. We have all kinds of different checklists and tip sheets, things that will help them save time but be more effective. And then we created at the beginning of the pandemic a membership called the Pitch Lab. And at the foundation is this roadmap that is like very start to finish. How do you pitch the media as a service? So we've seen other programs about how to land yourself in the media if you want to, have some authority in your space, but this is for professionals. And we have people that are fresh out of college that are just looking to hone their skills before they get a job, all the way to members that have been in the space for 30 plus years, and they want to be on top of all the changes that are happening and make sure that they're still relevant and providing the best service for their clients. So the Pitch Lab is where people come in, and we have these incredible calls where members of all levels come together, ask all kinds of questions. If they're feeling stuck, they are not getting traction on a pitch, we troubleshoot. And what I have found, for me, this is one of the coolest aspects, is that when I first started, I felt like our industry was very secretive and very close to the vest. And as an outsider, I was a litigator when I started. I was an attorney for 4 years, did a
Well,
complete
maybe that's why they were closed, man, given
maybe
your background.
I don't know, but it took me so long to, everything was learned by trial and error, which I didn't mind, but I felt I would have loved to have had a mentor, somebody that was willing to share what worked best or what I needed to know, or at least just to be accessible to ask questions. And I was told that if I put my business, my content out on the internet, that I would be opening myself up to criticism. People aren't criticized. I mean, they're so grateful. And I would also potentially be opening myself up to theft of my content. And it didn't matter as much to me as shifting that paradigm and having a place where we can all support each other and serve each other. Women specifically come into my world because they have kids and they don't have the bandwidth to go work at an agency and put in those hours, but they still are excellent at their craft and they want to earn a living on their time and have that work-life integration. And so we provide a model for them to do that, not only through the Pitch Lab, but I have a program called Agency Accelerator, and I teach women how to grow and scale their own businesses and find clients. And that's my favorite aspect of it all, is teaching people how to fill their pipeline with potential clients and how to set their rates. And it's shocking how many people are undervaluing their services when they're excellent and get great results.
It's amazing. Well, you're clearly an industry powerhouse yourself, and it's an honor to have you on our show. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.